In this part, what I'd like to do is show you how to make this coil vase, and I'm going to put that together now. Here's what you're going to need to get started on your coil piece. You're going to need the plastic knife, this cloth, water, the board with your name on it, clay, a rolling pin, and 2 boards for the thickness of the clay. Take your boards and either set them on the side with the layers showing or on end. I'm going to leave it on end like this because I know it's an even thickness. And then you take your rolling pin and roll it out. Next, take this cardboard tube. It's 3 inches in diameter across like this. You're going to put it down here and you're going to take your plastic knife and lightly score or mark the edge. Just go around the outside like this just to mark it. And then you're going to cut it around with the knife afterwards. So I've got the circle, and now I'm going to cut it. Once it's cut, what you do is you peel up the side. I just split it on the side. I'm peeling up the extra clay like this, and I'm ready to put it on my board. So I've got my base down here. I've got the water. I've got 3 tools that I can use for etching the clay or making marks in it. This is a wooden tool. It looks like a pencil. It's got a nice point. And this one has a nice blade on the back. And this is the clay knife that I use to cut the clay. I'm going to use this tool here, and you need to make a lot of etch marks wherever you're going to connect the clay so that it roughens up, just chews up the edge and gets the clay to really stick well. So I'm going to go around the outside like this. Now the clay is etched, and I'm ready to do my coils. I'm going to roll out coils in between the size of a pencil and my pinky, and then I'm going to use those to start building the edges or the wall on my piece. What I've learned about a coil is start with a rope shape, and you start from the center, roll out, and then if it gets kind of oblong, put it on end, tap it down, and then roll it from there. So if it starts getting flat on one side, just put it and roll it and just keep working with it. Now to attach the coil, what I do is I cut it at an angle like this, and I'm going to score the coil too, or etch the coil too, and also put a little bit of water on it to connect it. So what I'm going to do now is put just a little bit of water just to make it act like glue and get that on the etching marks. And then I'm going to take where I cut this coil right here, I cut it at an angle, and I'm going to put the scoring or the etching down and go right around like this and connect it together so that you can see it is going to build up. You can see what's going on there. And then I'm going to etch this too. Now I want to show you something. I put on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coils, and I noticed that it's getting kind of oblong in some spots and getting kind of warped. If you take another board and kind of roll it around the outside, let me see if I can show you this, and just kind of push on the inside to hold the shape of your piece, and just roll it like this on the outside, it kind of straightens it back up, and then you can get it somewhat round again like this. And then let me just roll a little bit more here just to get it nice and even. And then what I'm going to do is take a plastic rib, or you can even use a spoon. We've got these plastic spoons. I'm going to smooth the side out. Let me show you that now. What I do is I bend this around the outside like this, and I'm going to pull the clay up, and it's going to smooth it together, and you keep working it so it gets rid of all those lines and it connects it together really good. You go sideways and bend it. What I'm going to do on the inside is take my spoon and push down like this and use it for like smoothing it together like it was butter. And then I can use that because it's got this curved edge. I'm just going to use a spoon backwards and pull the clay up to smooth it together like this. And so what you're doing is you're connecting all those coils together so you are getting a vase or a mug shape that you can use if it's watertight to put water in, liquids, so it'll be good. So let me smooth this down now. There. Now you can see on the inside I smoothed it down. It's going to take more smoothing, but I got the inside pretty well connected together. And in the process, it pushed this piece out. So what I'm going to do now is take my hands and bring it back in by just going around the outside and kind of squeezing it back together like this. And now I'm going to smooth the outside, and I'll try to show you that from the side. Now what I'm going to do is take the plastic rib and really smooth it down. You're going to have to share it because I don't have enough for each student to have one, but take your time and really smooth this down. Now look at this, it's still kind of pushing out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is take that board and really kind of push it back in so it's straight up and down. And I roll the board like this and kind of keep it the way I want to. So I'm going to keep building my coils straight up and down to kind of get a mug shape. Now before the end of the class, make sure that your name is on the bottom. I would pick it up and turn it over and carefully write your name. And I would have you put your period down on the bottom. And this is the way to cover them at the end of class. You squeeze out, get a paper towel and squeeze out the extra water and put a damp paper towel on top like this and just drape it over top to keep it moist. And then put your plastic bag over top, squeeze out all the extra air and tuck it underneath like this and keep it on your shelf. Now when you're working on it again, let's go back to it. Take your plastic bag off, save it. And I'm going to start building more coils onto this. And you probably want to make your mug 6 or 7 inches tall at least. So let's put some more clay on top of this. Now I want to show you something that if you want your piece to come in a little bit, what you're going to do is you set your coils to the inside, and I'm just going to show you it would be like this, and you start bringing them in like this if you want your mug to have just a little bit of a kind of a bend in and then bend back out. So depending on where you set your coils, straight up and down will make it straight up and down. If you set them on the outside, it'll go out. And if you set them on the inside like this, it'll start going in.